There have been lots of programmes about the Battle of Britain, and it's a story that people feel that they're very familiar with. It's an epic story, a tale of men fighting and beating the Germans against the odds. What the Heroes of Biggin Hill does is tell that epic story in a very personal way. We were able to look at the minutiae of life during what was a very, very terrifying time. Biggin Hill gave us the opportunity to find out what the men and women on the ground were experiencing, what the pilots were experiencing, what it was like to fly an aircraft, what it was like to hear the sounds, hear the roar of a Merlin engine, and what the smells were like, what the evenings were. I mean, it was a daytime war for much of the Battle of Britain. They were able to go to the pub and have a pint with the locals and play skittles with the locals. They also fell in love, and they also helped each other out, and there was this great camaraderie between them all, and women did amazing things and were given the opportunity to do amazing things. On the airfield there were some very, very talented, very determined and very brave women, and I think that should never be forgotten. I think what they did was very important for women's future roles. Only 6 women won the Military Medal for Bravery during the Second World War, and 3 of them had come from Biggin Hill. What was war like for a child? What was the Battle of Britain like for a child? There was something quite special about talking to these men and women who had been between the ages of 6 and 16 at the time. So, you know, they're now 80 to 90-year-olds, and you could see their eyes light up. You could see the 8-year-old inside as they talked about the excitement of seeing the aircrafts fighting in the sky and experiencing what a bombing raid was actually like. Just through the stories that they told, you were able to get a bit of a flavour of how terrifying it must have been, how exciting it must have been. I mean, I know I felt throughout the whole process that I wished I had so much pride in my country. I've never experienced that sense of coming together as a community. I don't think that's something that we have anymore. And I sort of, you know, I was quite glad that I was able to sort of get a sneak peek into that, because it felt really special. I think for a lot of them, it was the most exciting times of their life. And that sounds really strange because people were dying and their lives were at risk, but I can completely understand where they're coming from, because when there's danger ahead and you come together, something special happens, and that's certainly something I in a way felt envious of them for. We've all heard Winston Churchill give his famous speech about the few, the pilots who won the Battle of Britain for us, but it was about more than just the few. It was also about the few others. The Heroes of Biggin Hill really was about everyone, the pilots, the WAFs, the airmen, and the children in the village, the mothers and fathers in the village. And it was great to be able to give them the opportunity to tell their stories.